Right, everybody, we're going to kick off the webinar now. A little bit of housekeeping before we start here. I just want to mention that we recently did several interviews with leading brands, and part of this was to help understand how they're measuring incrementality in their affiliate channel. And that playbook is available now, and there'll be a link in the chat below. So if you want to take a look at that after the webinar, a little takeaway reading material, that would be great. And then also, I just want to mention every year we host an event called IPX. And this year it's an in-person event for 3 days in Austin, Texas. And we want to welcome everybody to sign up for that. That's live now. And we'll also include a link to our website where you can see more information and sign up. And there will be also some presentations and discussions around incrementality. So there's more to learn in person. And you can secure your tickets with an early bird 20% discount as well. So just wanted to point that out. And now we'll get to the meat of our webinar. So I'm really happy to have Kayla and Cricket here today to give their perspective on incrementality and just the value of the affiliate channel in general. And I'm going to have each of them introduce themselves. So we'll start with Kayla and then Cricket.
Great. Hi, I'm Kayla. I run the affiliate and partnerships channel at Zenni Optical. We're one of the largest online eyewear brands in the US. And I've worked in the affiliate space for about 8 years now, both at agencies and in-house with brands.
So
And I'm Cricket Trainer. I work at Patagonia. I'm our affiliate marketing manager. I've been with the brand for about 5 years now, kind of starting in retail actually, and then worked our way to our e-com team. And then in the last year, have been managing our affiliate program, really focusing on growing the channel from an in-house role. So, yeah.
awesome. Well, I'm excited to have you both here in all of our prep and side discussions. You two are very smart and leaning in and have a lot of good learnings and insights to share. So this is going to be exciting. And for those who don't know me, I'm Todd Crawford. I'm a co-founder here at impact.com, and I've been in the affiliate space for over 25 years. So got that going for me. All right. So, Kayla, you actually partook in our interviews for the incrementality playbook. And I guess, can you start giving us a little bit of insights on the your journey with Zenni Optical and how it evolved over time and kind of what your motivation was to look beyond kind of that traditional last click attribution?
Yeah, so Zenni brought me on a little more than 2 years ago to bring their affiliate program in-house, but the affiliate program started in 2020, so it's a little older than me. Um, They brought me on to specifically help Zenni move away from being a discount heavy brand image to more of a value oriented one, specifically for the affiliate channel, which up until that point had been a super traditional affiliate program. Our top 10 partners in the program had over 90% of the revenue attribution, and almost all of those partners were coupon sites or browser extensions, which didn't particularly help the new image that we were trying to build as a brand. And we knew we wanted to bring on content and editorial partners and influencer affiliates who could all help tell that brand story about being more of a value-oriented brand. But first, we needed to understand the incrementality of these bottom funnel partners that were really driving most of that revenue attribution. And then ultimately determine a way to bring on these new partners where they would still receive attribution for the value that they were bringing to our brand.
Yeah, that's been a kind of a common thread with a lot of brands that maybe at first relied heavily on the usual suspects in the affiliate ecosystem and then really wanted to expand and diversify partnerships because they wanted to, as in your case, obviously shift more to a new message, a new um, brand image. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And we're going to dig into that more. But first, Frigate, tell us about your journey at Patagonia and how it's evolved and what motivated you to look beyond kind of that traditional last click partnerships.
Yeah. So when I started on my role on our ecom team, the affiliate channel was just kind of running itself. it was kind of just, it's been around for a long time. We have a lot of really great editorial and content relationships on the earned media side. So with kind of already an established program across categories, the channel was able to run itself. It just wasn't really being optimized or growing in any way. So when I started on our team, I kind of was interested in learning more about the program, and since then have been able to put more time and investment into the channel, into figuring out how we can grow it in a really brand aligned way. And kind of, as Kayla pointed out, like there are ways to use the channel to help get a brand image across. It's kind of like across all funnels: top funnel with content partners, bottom funnel with loyalty partners. So when I started in this like in-house role, I was able to identify what our goals for the channel are and how we can grow in ways that align with Patagonia's overall goals. And we found that traditional last touch models didn't really help us get the full picture when we were thinking about the channel. And so the way that we were measuring it as the same kind of way across all of our different channels, all of our paid media channels, wasn't really uncovering the full value of the channel. So that's why when we had someone come in to really manage the channel and solely focus on it, we were able to understand the true value of the channel and how we should be thinking about ways to grow it and which partners we value the most in the channel.
So I like that you both, or both companies had this vision of kind of, we want to have our story told, and we know that's a more upper funnel interaction. But the key to that, and I think where most people struggle, is really around how you're measuring the success. How do you know what's working, what's not, or where the challenges are, and how do you prove it? Which is probably the biggest challenge I think I hear a lot, either because there's maybe some internal um, data or measurement being done, or another third party tool, and then you've got the tools that you're using to run your affiliate channel. So I guess the thing I'd like to start with for you, Cricket, is how are you kind of measuring the success? What are the important KPIs, and what matters most to your team and the stakeholders?
Yeah, so we use our affiliate platform as our primary measurement tool. That's kind of our source of truth. So when we're looking at that, we're looking at kind of typical metrics that you look at across other channels, thinking about clicks, revenue, return on investment, conversion rate. But what I think is really important with how we're looking at the measurement, how we're measuring success for the channel, is not just looking at it as like a blanket affiliate channel, but really digging deeper into the different categories that we have in the channel. So we have loyalty, deal, content, thinking about all of those as individual channels almost, because each of them are going to have different baselines for the metrics that you're looking at. And then when you're doing your measurement on each of these different categories, if you're looking at it from a year-over-year perspective, if you're seeing big changes in any of these categories, then you can dig down a level deeper and look at the partner level and really understand who are making these overall changes and how can you work with them in certain ways, or how do you want to scale back that partnership. So I think really thinking about it at those different levels and having different baselines for the different metrics across the partnerships has been helpful in understanding the different values of the channel and of each individual partner.
So, Cricket, you've had experience managing other traditional media channels, and now that you've taken over the affiliate channel, how much time are you having to put into it to kind of do that analysis and then optimize the partnerships? And maybe you could even compare it to how much effort you had to do analyzing and optimizing more traditional channels. Like, is it 10 times more work, twice as much, the same?
Yeah, it's different, I think. Like I'm looking at my reporting on a daily and weekly basis, and we're talking about it internally across other channels to see like how the different changes that each of the channels are, what they're seeing, and how it's relating to other changes within the company or what other channels are seeing. But I think when we're thinking about optimization with different partnerships and how often we're looking at that and what types of reporting we're looking for, that's more of a longer term view. Like you want to give those measurement tools more time to really identify the best ways to be optimizing partnerships. So when I'm thinking about like the optimized reports, I'm looking at more of an end of the month look back or even end of a quarter look back to see which partners helped influence a sale. Like with those tools, we can see where each partners came in a customer journey, and we can understand if there's a partner that's over indexing and being a solo contributor to a sale or the introducer. It's like the first moment that somebody came onto the site was through this partner. We can put different values on the different ways that those customers are coming into the sale or into the site, and then we can figure out how we want to optimize with them. Like maybe we're seeing that there's a partner that's driving a lot of solo sales, but they're for some, or not, maybe not solo sales, maybe they're introducing a lot of customers to the site, but they're maybe not getting the credit for the last touch. We can figure out ways that we want to either optimize with them in the future because we see the value in them driving traffic to the site, or maybe figuring out a way that we can bonus them after the fact to really um, give them the value that we're seeing coming back to the site. So that's something that I'm looking at on a monthly basis. And then even a quarterly basis, I'll be looking at benchmarking, seeing how the partners we're working with are working with other competitors in the space and how we can be boosting relationships for people that are doing it really well with other brands. And I also like to think kind of a forward-looking view. So ahead of a season, I'll think about what campaigns we have coming out as a brand. So we have a lot of different sports that we're promoting, and different sports are different priorities at different times. So say we have a mountain bike campaign coming out in the fall, I'll want to look at what partners have been really great with helping to sell mountain bike product in the past and think about how I can be optimizing with those partners to help promote the campaign that we have coming out. So it's really kind of thinking about longer term, either look back or look forward when you're thinking about those optimization moments. And then thinking about the other metrics more on like a daily and weekly basis.
So working with a lot of these content partnerships, they're obviously writing about your products or reviewing them, things like that. And, Patagonia has been around a very long time and is a very strong brand. How, yes, how comfortable is leadership with the kind of, I mean, potential criticism or not 100% aligned with mission and brand when these partners are just giving their honest opinions of reviews or whatever else they're writing about when it comes to Patagonia?
I mean, I think from my perspective, us as a brand, we let our brand and our products speak for themselves. I don't want to have any effect on the narrative that partners are talking about our products. We choose to work with certain partners because we find value in them. We trust their opinions and their editorial opinions. So we don't want to have any influence on that from an affiliate perspective. I think where I come in is I want to make sure partners have all the information that they need about the brand, about the products to be able to write about us in accurate ways. And I also want to make sure that we're able to measure the value that they're bringing to the brand so we can accurately compensate them for how they're promoting the brand or how they're helping get the word out and the storytelling out about the brand. So in my role, I'm not trying to affect how people are talking about the brand, and I think people feel comfortable with that internally. I'm just wanting to make sure we can measure the success of the partners that we do work with and make sure that they're being compensated from us for what they're bringing to us.
Yeah, yeah, that's good. I mean, it can be challenging for some brands to let go of that, especially when they have such a strong brand and they probably historically invested $1 billion in building it up, right? So it can be a little unnerving, but I think when you're confident in your product and your brand, you can tolerate a little bit of people coloring outside the lines because that's their opinion or perspective. So, Kayla, when you're looking at the affiliate channel, what metrics are you using to measure incrementality?
Yeah, I mean, it's a good question. We've been grappling with it for a couple years now. And obviously, last touch attribution does have its role to play when you're looking at some incrementality scores, especially for lower funnel partners. But since we've been bringing on more mid and upper funnel partners, we wanted to add additional metrics just to make sure that we're really capturing the value that they're bringing. So, one of the things we're looking at is new customer acquisition rates, especially because we brought on a lot of content sites. They're telling our story, they're reaching a new customer. To talk about Zenni as a brand, people might not be familiar with us. So that's a lot of new customer acquisition. We also, something we call internally is conversion reactivation. So that's if someone's on their click path ready to get to a conversion and then they kind of drop off and nothing really happens for, we measure it more than 5 days. If an affiliate comes back and helps reactivate that click path to then ultimately lead to a conversion, we call that an incremental push. So that's definitely something that we value, especially because eyewear is a more considered purchase. People
Hmm.
take a lot of time. It's not a really impulse purchase. You have to go and get a prescription, make sure it's up to date, do your, backup research on lens type or what kind of needs you have for your vision. So that's something that we really want to make sure that people are continuing to engage with our brand with. It's very easy to get distracted by like competitors or something else along the journey that kind of distracts from that. Another metric we look at is last touch attribution. So, like I said, that's something that like it does impact our lower funnel partnerships, but we also want to look at partners who are maybe getting a last touch attribution that's beyond the 5 minutes before purchase. So we've noticed a lot of coupons and deal sites will get that 5 minutes before the purchase or less time frame. But beyond that, it's an interesting space for us. It's like mostly like mid-funnel partners who are getting that, maybe getting it a day in advance or, a couple hours before purchase happens. So that's like a really interesting metric for us. Oftentimes, that's a lot of our influencer affiliates who are getting that mid-funnel. So they're maybe not the ones who are introducing the brand, but they're maybe helping that customer make the decision to make a purchase at Zenni. And then within Impact, we use the top paths report a lot. I mean, it shows us the impact the affiliate channel level incrementality scores, so we can see which affiliates are getting involved in which click paths. But then we can also take a step back and show channel level incrementality. So we've uploaded all of our Google Analytics data into Impact, and we can see for affiliate purchases which other marketing channels are involved in that click path. And that's been a really interesting study for us to see what channels are actually touching affiliate really well and leading to really good conversion rates. So that's something that we look at a lot more than probably we should, but I like it.
Yeah, there's certain data points that really help you to champion the channel or defend the channel or explain the channel at the very least, and also to help you do your job, right? Optimizing the partnership. So that's always important that I find, I talk to a lot of our customers, and it's interesting how many are very data hungry, kind of love data. And then there are some who kind of that's not their forte. That they either have an analyst that does it or they kind of look at the least amount of data kind of do their job. And I just feel like the data hungry people seem to just know more about the program and can talk about it more intelligently or clearly, and I think also do the better job of figuring out what needs to be optimized. And
Mhm.
speaking of kind of a case study or information I'd like to unpack with you is in our incrementality playbook. You had mentioned some measurement analysis where you uncovered 1.5 million in partner spend that was being used towards duplicate customer touch points. And I'd love for you to just briefly unpack what that was and what you did with it.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend it to everybody, but it definitely worked in our case. So I was pretty new to Zenni. I was a few months in to trying to tackle this conundrum that they'd given me upon hiring, and I was looking at the top pounds report actually, and I noticed that there was a significant amount of affiliate revenue that was really closely touching other channels, and it was particularly at the end of the conversion path, which really wasn't surprising given the amount of lower funnel partners that were in the program at the time. But it led to a wider conversation internally. Our data team got involved, other performance marketing channels started getting interested in this data. So we started exploring MMM and MTA solutions, none of which really had a good solution for measuring and optimizing the affiliate channel. So I approached my boss at the time and asked, like, what would happen if we just cut these partners from the program and like see what happens on our site? Um, and they were bottom funnel partners, so there wasn't like a lot of content to delete. It would just kind of be like it could take place within a day. And if it really didn't work, we could get it back live within like a week or two. And it was a significant amount of revenue that was being attributed to these partnerships. So my argument was, if this was incremental, we would definitely notice it on our site fairly quickly. So we tried it and we saw no change on our site. So ultimately, that saved us quite a lot of budget. And we just took it and were able to reinvest with our new top and mid funnel partnerships, which, really helped kind of easily boost the goals that we had set for the year.
That kind of brings up a good topic, and I know you touched on this briefly, Cricket, but what are the data points that the team are using at Patagonia to kind of understand which channels are performing, uh, I guess individually, but also, you know, together, right? How do they work together? What is that source of truth, and how do you guys kind of tackle that?
Yeah, so we do have a platform that brings in all of the channel data into one, kind of like an overall incrementality platform that is used as the source of truth for all of our channels, and my impact data is flowing into that. Where I Why I don't use that as much as the other channels do is because it doesn't do as good of a job of breaking down the data by channel or by category and by partner. So it's good to see kind of like how the affiliate channel is performing next to other channels. And if there were a reason to reallocate budget to a certain channel, having the affiliate channel included in that is important. And a lot of the time it'll say that we should be reallocating budget to the affiliate channel because it can be so efficient, especially with some of the loyalty and kind of bottom of funnel partners that we have in the platform. But I don't necessarily use it as my source of truth. I look closer into impact at how the channel is performing there. Like I said, looking at it from a category and a partner level. I do also look at our last touch reporting platform that we have across all of our channels. I use this more to understand the discrepancy between impact and that last touch platform. We have a pretty big cookie window, so it's not going to be perfect. There's always going to be a discrepancy there. But the reason why I'm looking at that more is to understand if that kind of baseline discrepancy that I understand between those two platforms, if that changes, goes way higher or way lower than what I expect to see, that could indicate some kind of a tracking issue or some other issue that's going on with either of the platforms. So I just kind of keep an eye on that just to make sure everything is running smoothly and I understand what that baseline is between the difference between the affiliate channel and the last touch view of it.
So, Kayla, how do you guys tackle the source of truth that's any
We're
optical?
not too dissimilar to how Cricket's set up. So we especially with GA4, I think that was caused a lot of problems internally, and distrust of Google Analytics. So we've moved on to a third-party platform too, where all of the performance marketing channels feed their data into it, and we're able to see from a bigger picture how performance is. But I personally am mostly in impact. I think the data matches our internal source of truth partner within like 3%. So to me, it's like
That's
that's a
great.
wash. Yeah, it's great. It is really great. And Impact provides such more rich reports for me that it's way easier for me to manage the program by just digging into the data there.
Speaking of reports, I mean, when you kind of are doing your day-to-day job, I mean, day to day, week to week, month to month, what's one report that you just would not want to live without that really just is kind of, I guess, your source of truth to managing your partnerships?
It's hard to pick one.
Well, you can pick
I,
two if you have to
yeah, I
take
might
two, I
pick
guess.
two for different reasons. So the first that I look at on a daily basis, weekly basis, it's how I pull together my like presentations for other stakeholders internally is this built report dashboard that I put together where I was able to pull in all of the metrics that I find important when I'm thinking about the channel. So I'll have like an overall view of the channel where I can change the date to know exactly what's happening this week, to know how it compares to other channels during that week. It'll also be broken down on a category level, at a partner level, on a daily level, and then I'll also have how my metrics are pacing to the forecast that I set for the channel. So it's a really good kind of holistic view of everything that I'm looking at. And really easy just to change the date to know, like, if I wanted to look at the full year, last month, last sale period, like whatever it is, it's just a really like intuitive dashboard that I can see everything that I'm looking for. But then I also, like I said, when I'm thinking about how I want to optimize the channel and I'm looking back at more of a monthly or quarterly view, the optimized reports have been really helpful for me looking at the incrementality report to understand how incremental certain partners are, and then looking at the contribution report to understand how they are interacting in a customer journey has been really helpful because then I can look at that and notice one partner that I really want to dig into and understand how they're interacting with other affiliate channels, with other performance marketing channels that we have being fed into that. And I can have kind of make more strategic decisions about how I want to shift the channel and not just basically report on the channel year over year. So those two have been something that I use on a daily basis. So yeah, they've been great.
So on the dashboard, you built that through our um, data lab, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Something that I
You
put
use data
together.
lab to build a custom dashboard. That's where it
Yeah.
sits.
And you can kind of pull any kind of report that you're interested in seeing into that. But it's for me, it's easier than going through like performance by partner or daily performance or all of the different reports that we have available. It's nice to have it all in one place and in one view.
Yeah, I think you cheated. I think that works out to be like six reports, doesn't
I was gonna say I need a
it?
template
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
you're right. I game the system a little bit.
Yeah. So, Kayla, what is the one or two or six reports that you really would hate to live without?
Honestly, I would choose six if I had the option. But I definitely want a template of whatever Cricut's using because I use all those all the time. I love action listing by SKU. It's a very like specific granular report that helps me break out like, our frames are in certain collections, our lenses are in different collections. They both have separate campaigns. They all have different partners. So promoting them. And so that's like incredibly helpful. That data I can't find anywhere else, so I use it all the time. But I also just am very personally attached to the Top Paths report. I think I've mentioned it a couple of times already. So um, I love being able to see like where in the puzzle our affiliates fall, both within the channel and within other channels. I think that's like just really invaluable, and it kind of kicked off this whole 2 year journey I've been on.
Yeah, I think the one thing that really makes reporting for you guys managing, this channel is incorporating the other paid channels within that, which is something that brands can choose to do or not. But obviously, both of you have done that, and you understand that now it gives you that perspective of where is affiliate interacting not only within intra-affiliate, but within all of the other paid marketing channels. So you get a better perspective of uh, the winning and leapfrogging and all of the interaction, which I think is just a richer data set and allows you to answer questions that you would be blind to otherwise. So, Cricket, I mean, how does the company, how does Patagonia internally view and value the affiliate channel?
I
And
think
how
there's
much education has there been from you, I guess?
Yeah, I think there's now within the last few years of me being in this role and us putting more time and investment into the channel, there's a better understanding of what the channel actually is. I think that's what we had to do in the beginning is more educate people about the channel rather than talk about the success of the channel, just so people are aware what it is, who the partners are that we work with, how we should be measuring success for the channel. And I think how we've built kind of positive sentiment around the channel is really setting clear goals for the channel that ladder up into the larger company goals. So that can be a little bit difficult for an affiliate channel within a company where not all of our goals are revenue driven. Most of the goals probably aren't as much revenue driven, but there are different ways that you can use the channels to achieve goals from at every stage of the funnel. And I think it's helped me think really creatively about how I want to represent the affiliate channel and how I want to grow it in ways that don't just show that the channel is growing in revenue and it at more efficient spend. So I think because I've been able to do that and I've been able to report on the success of those goals, I've been able to build like a positive sentiment around the channel and have the ability to continue growing it because of that.
Yeah, that's great. I think, and you guys both kind of mentioned this, the big challenge, I think, is that affiliate gets managed as a channel, kind of off to the side for the marketing team. And it's not that. It's not the same as a paid search channel or a programmatic or, you know, a, an influencer or social media. I mean, so the nuances within the channel are, I think, a big piece of that. The types of partners, where they sit in the funnel, the value they bring at various parts of the consumer journey, how they interact with other paid media. That's really a tough story for a lot of people, I think, to convey when historically it was always measured as just a single thing. And there's a lot of education that has to go along with that. So, transitioning to you, Kayla, how much, how does your company value the affiliate channel or see it? And how much education have you had to do to help them better understand it?
Yeah, I think when I first started, affiliate, like you said, was just kind of like a little corner channel that sat within performance marketing. Um, and I think leadership kind of started paying attention when I was brought on and I told them, look, you're going to see revenue drop on this channel by a significant amount, but it's not forever and it's not going to affect the bottom line. It's actually like I'm kind of helping us get away from the myth that I think affiliate can really get stuck in, which is we are just these like bottom feeders, attribution stealer partnerships. Like there's so much more to this channel. And I think that kind of like perked people's ears up a bit and we're like, wait, what are you doing? Which was a really cool opportunity. I think I kind of like grabbed it really hard and was like, I'm not going to let this go. Like a lot of people need education on what we can do. Affiliate's perfect for cross-functional play within the company. You know, we're working with like social, we're working with brand and PR, we're working with B2B, we're working with our gaming division. There's so much we can do within the platform of impact, just like the technology that it provides, that it's a really rich in-depth channel. And so that's taken quite a bit of education with a lot of different stakeholders. But I've been fortunate that people are really interested in it. Like they see affiliate as like a team player channel now, which I think is a massive win.
Yeah, that's interesting. A team player. So are you, I guess it's to both of you, how much do you interact or work with the other channels and teams? Um, and what does that look like? Because I think most people think I do paid search and I'm, in my cubicle, head down, the affiliate manager next to me is doing it, and we might have a little chat at the water cooler, but there's not a lot of interaction. So maybe start with you, Cricket. How much do you kind of cross-pollinate or collaborate, or what happens? Is there anything going across the teams?
Yeah, so I think just thinking about like our internal or performance marketing team, we're all under the same manager. We're all kind of working within the same budget. So I'm working with them just to make sure that budget's being allocated correctly across different channels. We're all aware of what campaigns are coming out, what products we need to be promoting. So we're kind of working at that level together. But I think where like most of the value in the internal partnerships that I've found within the company is with PR, which is something that wasn't really a thing before I stepped into this role. But me being able to partner with that team and understanding who they're pitching, when, who they find to be a priority in the editorial space, how we can work together on kind of being like mutually beneficial and in every way has been great for me to kind of unlock more potential in the channel and also to give the affiliate channel more light internally. So everybody kind of is aware of how great our earned media channel is and how great our relationships are on an editorial side. So it's kind of been able to shine light on the affiliate channel and like I said, have a really positive view about the things that we're doing with the channel and how the two teams are kind of influencing each other and proving out success together.
Wow. Yeah, no, that's amazing. I like that alignment with the PR team. I think that is a natural fit, especially with the content creation. And that I would imagine, even like a YouTuber, right? I mean, it's if someone is talking about a product that guys have and telling other people about it, um, it aligns with what PR is trying to do. Um, are they, I mean, they're not taking credit for that, but they must love it, right? I mean, how does that kind of do they see that? Do they understand that? Is that something they see as you kind of helping, I guess, PR, even though it's not something they did?
Yeah, I think it's very much us working together. And I think another benefit of us working with PR and the earned media team is the fact that they don't really see how their efforts are influencing sales or influencing traffic that's coming into site because they can't measure it at all if there's no affiliate links. So I can come in and actually show them how a pitch went or what products were sold with a certain partner after a pitch went out and give them
Mm,
more metrics behind the work that they're doing, which I think is it's kind of it's coming across as affiliate success, but we want to make sure that it's holistic success across the brand. It's not just the work that I'm doing. Like we're very much working together. And that's kind of why that partnership is so important to me in the success of the channel.
right. Kayla, what's your alignment with the other teams? What's your interaction or how's it look?
Yeah. I mean, I want to say like probably half of the partnerships that we track and impact touch another channel alongside affiliate, which I think is really cool. There's a lot that goes into like our gaming and like video game division. We have a lot of influencers. At one point, our influencer team came to us and said, "We have a whole brand ambassador program that's essentially like loyal customers who also have decent social followings, and we don't have the manpower or woman power anymore to like touch these relationships as often as they need. Can you take them on?" And we absorbed them into the affiliate program with very minimal disruption. And I think it was like a perfect way to just show like we are a really flexible channel and can take on these relationships. And that's kind of what we're setting ourselves up to be known as. Like if there's a relationship that you want to manage and you want to have it be a performance, you know, paid performance, tracked performance, whatever kind of thing, affiliate can help with that need. So that's definitely something that's been like a priority for the channel.
Well, they must love that you can also pay their partners for them, right? Like that
Yes.
this they don't have to go to finance and request payments and deal with all the tax documents and things like that as well. That's got to be a big shift of work that they don't have to focus on as well. And the thing
Yeah.
I hear over and over again, and I've kind of boiled it down to this partnership center of excellence that the affiliate teams kind of have now with a good platform that can be flexible and allow them to track and measure different types of partnerships, and they can kind of socialize that within the company and say, you can keep managing them if you want, but we can track them for you and measure them and even pay them for you if that's what you want. Um, and they start doing that. I hear that from other companies, and it just becomes like I said, it's a center of excellence. You have all this skill set that's not in any other team, right? Because I'm doing paid search. I mean, I'm just putting money into a machine and getting back traffic. So it doesn't really function as a way to manage other partnerships. And I guess the other question is all this stuff that we've talked about that you guys are doing and the data you're looking at and the education within the company and you know, do you feel like it's unlocking more budget? Are you getting more budget
Do you
think
want
all,
because of the data and the optimization and the partnerships that you're creating?
yeah, Cricket, you go.
Okay. Um, I think it's less that I'm given more budget because of the success that we're showing. I never feel held back from the channel. I think what we're kind of uncovering with affiliate is that there's so many opportunities in this space that we haven't even tapped into yet. So if I can continue showing that it is growing in a brand aligned way and there's new partners out there that we can be working with and new types of partnerships, maybe looking at influencers or creators or different ways that we can be thinking about different partners to the brand. I can talk about that with the right teams internally and show that there's opportunity, and no one's going to say that I need to cut back on the channel. Like I need to stick at a certain budget that the channel has for the month and potentially cut back partnerships if we're going over that budget. So I think in that sense, yes, like more there's potentially more budget that can come to the channel if we're proving that the opportunity is something that aligns with how we want to grow as a brand. Um, but I just think that there's kind of like endless opportunity, especially because the channel is changing so much, different types of partnerships are changing so much. This space is kind of always in flux that I think I'm trying to prove that we don't want to limit ourselves to what we're currently doing and kind of just staying in this lane.
So if you have an opportunity to spend more money, is that just more money that's given to you, or is it shifted from another channel?
In like on like a monthly basis, if we're seeing that the channel is performing really well, and we don't want to hold back that performance, then that's something that will be shifted around to other channels. What I try to do is proactively think about how the channel is going to grow and where those opportunities might be. So when we're looking at budgeting for the next fiscal year, I can kind of work that into my proposal and we can have maybe like a testing budget for the channel or like a paid placement budget, like a separate budget outside of just the commissions that we're paying to partners that are kind of in flux all the time, just to make sure we can cover if there's an opportunity that comes up out of nowhere that we want to cover it and try it, that we have that opportunity.
Great. So, Kayla, how about you? Where are you getting more budget in the channel, or is it similar to cricket, where it's just dependent on what's going on?
I'm a little bit more rigid. I'm given like a set budget for the year, but also similarly to cricket, no one's really mad if I'm going over in a specific month. I think that they recognize that ultimately affiliate's not a channel that you can just turn off once you hit your max budget, and
Yeah.
that every dollar we're spending is tied to a sale. Our ROAS is actually like 3 to 4 times higher than our performance marketing goal. So it's kind of proven itself that it is a worthwhile channel to continue to invest in. So I'm not getting any slaps on the wrist for overspending, but they do have like a general, like please don't go like a million over budget this year. Or like
Right,
tell
right.
us if you're going to. And so I do also have the ability to pitch for a larger partnership, especially one that I want to test with. Um, and right now I'm working through one with an editorial partner that involves 4 different channels, which is really cool. I mean, it's affiliate to a large degree, but it's also PR, it's also influencer, and it's also our events team, like in person, which
Wow.
is really cool. And something really unique. We've never tried it before, but it is a big budget. I definitely don't want to like take a hit with other partnerships to pay for this. So it's something that we're able to pitch, and people so far have been really receptive to something like that, which is great.
Well, that's exciting. I love
Yeah.
hearing things like that. I mean, it's something new, and if it works out, then you kind of look to continue it and maybe even find more similar types of partnerships like that. That's fun. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this has been very insightful, and I really appreciate you two coming on and sharing all of this. I do want to see if you could give, I guess, some practical advice to brands looking to evolve their affiliate management approach. So, how would you, what one piece of advice would you give everyone attending this or watching it after the fact to kind of, give them that upper leg, I guess, a leg up in getting the channel more, I guess, appreciated. Maybe that's the best way, right?
Yeah. I would say take every small moment and opportunity that you can to educate people internally, mostly just like storytell about those partnerships. These are relationships that we're building. It's not just, you know, uh, a turn off and on button that we're choosing to A/B test with for a month. It's these are like real people. They all are doing interesting things that are different from each other. So if we say card linked offers, we as affiliate managers may know exactly what that means, but nobody else
Hmm.
internally does unless we educate them and we tell a bit about like what that means, what that experience is like for the consumer. How is this helpful to our brand goals or our larger KPIs? And so even if it's just like an extra slide on a monthly deck that you're doing, I think every little bit helps and different channels or leaders can help kind of feel a little bit more involved in what we're doing. I think it definitely also leads to more involvement or just awareness.
Yeah, I love that storytelling because it's really almost exclusive to partnerships. There's not a lot of stories to talk about in programmatic and paid search and things like that. It is what it is, and I think, everybody kind of knows it. Might be a little bit of nuance there. I'm not trying to, you know, talk bad about it, but it's not as multidimensional. And I think you're right. You can't assume that everyone in the company understands the differences between these individual partners or even the categories. And storytelling can go a long way to educate and remind people
Hmm.
and call out like a success. They may know now what a card linked offer is. And now you say, here's one specific one that did really well and why. I love that. I think that's a great piece of advice. Cricket?
Yeah, that was a great piece of advice. I'm gonna take the moment to educate as much as possible, like you said. But I think for me, I've called this out a few times during the call. But what's been really important for me to kind of prove the success of the channel internally is aligning my goals with the company goals. And that doesn't have to be just upper funnel goals, kind of like Patagonia has. There's going to be a partner that's going to help you reach any goal across the funnel that you just kind of have to understand who those partners are, and how you should be measuring the success. But if you can identify what goals are going to be helpful to your overall company reaching their bigger goals and then be able to report on performance that's laddering up into that, that's going to be really helpful in proving that the affiliate channel isn't just a bottom of funnel tactic to help drive revenue. It's going to help achieve storytelling for the channel, reaching new customers, help drive better conversion rate. Like there's so many things that the channel can do. It's just really important to understand what's the most important for your company and then put that into action with the different partnerships that you have.
Yeah, that's great. And I think kind of playing off that a little bit is just the whole break down the channel for the team. Like, don't let it be measured as a whole channel and
Mhm.
not have that nuance of there's a lot of moving parts inside this channel that have a story to tell that are need to be understood, uh, probably need to be looked at separately. And we're not seeing that when we have our source of truth maybe over in the marketing team that just sees it like other channels, which I think are easy to measure in a silo like that. It is one thing, or it is maybe, two things, but it's not as complex. So that's great advice from both of you. And I just really want to thank you so much for coming on and sharing all your secrets, and how you've really helped reposition the affiliate channel within your company and grown it, which is obviously just very probably rewarding to be able to do that for the company that you work for. And I also just want to make sure everyone understands that we don't have time for Q&A today, but we will be sure to respond to your questions in our webinar recap blog post. So you'll be able to find that under the blog section on the impact.com website. And we will take all the questions that were submitted and respond to them there as part of the recap. So again, I just want to thank you too. It was just really fun to hear everything you're talking about. It sounds great to me, and I enjoyed it, so I'm sure everybody else did as well.